going to wait. I don't want to waste anything. So just listen to this. I hope everyone's doing well. Who am I? Who am I? Well, my name is Kerry Mussington. I am the founder of Mind Over Matter Project, Suicide Prevention, and we tackle the underlying issues that cause depression. Now, yesterday I had a conversation with somebody who said, how can you function with a label? How can you function with the label EUPD? What does that mean? They didn't know what it meant. They didn't know what it was. Emotionally unstable personality disorder. Wow, when you hear that, you probably want to run a mile. Because you know what? The stigma is so hard, it's so difficult. But I want to remove the stigma. And I try to remove the stigma. And so do other people that raise awareness. You can function on labels. You can function on your disability. You can function providing you put your mind to the action. There are many people that come on the Mom Project. There are many people that are actually very bold. It's a very bold statement to come onto the Mom Project Facebook page because of the title. But you know what? That title says that people are crying out for help. That title says, look, I'm here. I want to share my experiences, but I do want some support. Now, when I say there's some support there is support there. What I'm finding is that I'm receiving calls once somebody is all, when they fell and they go to, they end up falling. Some people just suffer with depression and some people have diagnoses, okay? And the remit is to make sure that you catch it before you hit that crisis point. So there is opportunities available so you can start to learn to recover and be in control of your health. Now, you don't have to have a label, by the way, to suffer some kind of depression. And so therefore, at the end of the day, it's about understanding your friends, your family. They have 1 in 4 of us have depression, and they're living amongst you within your friends and family, and they have behind closed doors some unhealthy coping strategies. They actually find it difficult probably to connect with one another and probably feel isolated. And again, we see here's another issue is that when people are working and they're working hard and they're trying to build something for themselves, the depression sinks in because they're not getting the help around them and they feel alone and isolated. So that's another reason why I think it's very important that we offer solutions. Somebody said to me yesterday, why have I got a problem with people posting into the Mom healthy material? I said I have no problem people contributing to the Mom Project, providing they're a member, and second of all, providing they're giving back and not just taking. So what I'm finding out is that yes, people will implement and want to put, and I'm going to put this out because it's really important. People will put a link to their page. Now that's fair enough if they're hands-on, helping people with the right information, giving the right support, and offering a solution at the end of that. We can all have a Facebook page, but what you're dealing with is people's emotions. And if you're going to have these Facebook pages that people are coming to, I think it's good and beneficial that everybody works as a team to give people some solutions and and the correct advice. But the ignorance of some people is that the minute you mention that you have or any kind of mental health, they want to run a mile. They want to run a mile like their poo doesn't stink. And it's that attitude that makes me a little bit annoyed because you've got to take innocent people. I don't know if anybody saw what I posted the other day, a child yesterday, a child wanting to end his life. That's right. Like I said, it limited at 6 years old. You know, it's not even limited to. How are we going to stop that if we're going to be ignorant to the word mental health? How are we going to stop that if we're going to be ignorant to the word suicide? Suicide is the last resort. It's called suicide prevention, but it's the last resort. You can prevent it. It is preventable. But you've got to know the right love languages to speak and connect to individuals. Now, I've taken a back seat for a little while, and I'm just letting other people just contribute. It doesn't have to be always me. Yes, I built the project based on that diagnosis. That diagnosis relates to borderline personality disorders as well. Doesn't mean we're crazy. Doesn't mean we're stupid. Doesn't mean we're ignorant. It means can be sensitive. It means we're carrying a lot of baggage that we are trying to overcome. But each time we meet a new person and they come up with a stigma or they say something, you know, and then they leave you or they talk behind your back, I don't want nothing to do with her because she's got mental health, she's just crazy. That's, again, horrible. To label someone with that rather than ask them, what is the cause of it? What's the problem? But I don't want to know about your past problem, but what is the immediate problem to why you're feeling this emotion right now? What is it? How can we decipher that out? How can we get you the right help and the right support? Some of the people have to muster their emotions on a daily basis. I'm afraid that's very true. I am one of those. Why? Because I think over the years I've been so damaged with let's say damaged. I've been affected by mistreatment and uncruel behaviour, and I realised, you know what? My past could have done all that to me, but where am I going with my future? Where's my future going? You know, am I going to let the outside world keep affecting me? No, I need to build. And this is what we have to do. We have to find a way of going forward. How are we going to go forward and build? What is the vision? What is the dream? What do you want to do with your life? Who is affecting your life where you can't move forward? So you look at every angle of your life. Remove toxic people from your life. Remove anybody that wants to blame for excuse me, I just got sidetracked. Remove any, or give people an explanation, okay? At the end of the day, there shouldn't be a blame in understanding. It should be a clear understanding of what is it, the expectations, are there expectations, because left to your own, you are fine. But when you have expectations of people, that is where the rejection comes from, that is where the resentment comes from, and that is where the revenge comes from, and that's where the stupidity comes from. And I mean even to the point of indirect posts. And I mean that. For me, at the end of the day, when people give people an opportunity, sometimes it's like a marriage. You just got to understand what the love languages is. I think if you're going to have friends in life, don't have an expectation, but just someone to say, will the expectation be hi, and bye, and how are you? You know, but the family. And I mean, I hear lots of people talk to me about their problems, and I love it. Not the problems. I like to help them resolve and open their eyes to what it is they really want and how they can protect themselves and keep themselves safe. Because that's the aim, isn't it? How do we keep someone safe? Like I said, many people are coming onto the Mom Project more and more, and I'd like for you all to take responsibility and reach out to someone and say, hi, I'm here too. I see you too. You know, you see someone's post, say something about their post. Have a good day. Just acknowledgement, some kind of acknowledgement. That's all. If you like, share, acknowledge. Because deep down we all want some support, and I think when I hear the most common denominator is isolation and lack of friendships. That is what I'm finding with a lot of people. So we understand that isolation leads to more depression. Isolation leads to, and I use this word self-harm, and I'm going to break that down for those that are inexperienced with that word. Self-harm, let's break that down. Okay, and I did. Hold on. Hold on. So, I wrote this down because I'm going to design another flyer, because I think it needs opening up just a little bit more of that word self-harm. You can self-harm in many ways, and I hope this is recognizable to many of you out here. And I'm going to just break it down, because secretly people don't even recognize what it is, what they're doing, what's going on. and it's good to identify. So self-harm can come in many ways. So you've got drugs, you've got drink, you've got food, you've got sleep, workaholic, self-isolation. That means they know they want or keep themselves safe, so they'll stay in. Now that becomes agoraphobia as well. Denial, avoidance, deceit, unfaithfulness, violence, verbal aggression, bullying, control, a thief, someone who's constantly stealing, animal cruelty, paedophilia, manipulator, somebody using you as a scapegoat. There is so much. Sexaholic. There is so many elements where people have these habits, and that's what I'll call these habits. And some of these habits can be harmful, and some of them can be minor. Even as far as like, I've got an addiction, I've got to keep going down the Betfred or something like that, the bookies, gambling addiction. That's another issue. You see, they know it's wrong, but they'll do it because it makes them feel in control of something. You know, knowing at the end of the day, you know, I had a situation where my money was stolen, lies were coming, and then it became addiction to drugs and stealing my money, all of those things that come with it. And then now you look at the person, you look at the individual, and you think, what's the problem? Then you go into the background of that person, and it's some deep scar tissue. So people are looking for attention in so many ways. It's not negative attention. It is, you're looking for attention to, some people don't even know they've got a problem, you know, and that's why it goes on and on and on and on. They don't even know they've got a problem. And all I want to say is, whatever, how big, how small your problems are, whatever you're going through, you never have to do it alone. We are here for you. Every single Wednesday, without fail, we have been holding open talk therapies. We're getting people on there that are not privy to having a conversation with people. They're not even, the common denominator, I don't want to go in a group, I want to be on my own, or the one-on-one. I understand that you want the one-on-one, but you get more tools, more tips from everybody else that comes in there that will listen to what you have to say. And the thing is, sometimes it just takes one to know one to point people in the right direction and help them with their problem. I know when I hear stories, I want to help, and I think, okay, I need to project this out so somebody else can understand and take something from it and help somebody in the right direction. Leaving home. I'm going to start right there. Leaving home is the biggest thing people will do. Whether they get kicked out or not get kicked out. Whether they're living at home, but they don't really want to be at home, but they've got nowhere else to go. Or whether they're even living with somebody that they don't want to live with anymore. I've done that. For 3 months, I did that. Didn't want to live with someone. I lived upstairs, they lived downstairs. Never saw them, ships in the night. But I was living in a really uncomfortable situation. What do you do when you're living in an uncomfortable situation? You've got nowhere to run. You want to run. If it becomes violent in that house, there are help. There is house. There is help that you can get. There are rules and regulations that people have to follow to get you the right help and the right support. But the initial part is you. And you will grieve when once leaving a situation that you've once known. Whether you're leaving friends as well, friends leave you. You will grieve. It's called a little bit of a grieving process. And you will kind of grieve because you're kind of going to miss something of that comfortable situation that you once had. So when you leave anything, any kind of situation, it is best to leave on good notes as much as you can and wish someone very much well. That didn't come out right. Wish someone well and good health and well-being. You know, we're responsible for our own lives and we're responsible for our own happiness. And I realised, you know, I was going through so much. For the last 2 years, I've been running a project I've been trying to bring people together. I've been trying to get them the right help. I've housed many. For me, little old me, and just me, you know, for me, becoming an advocate and helping people, it's been quite rewarding when I see the end results where they got their happiness back, they're actually going into their own business and they're flourishing, and you know, that's the result that I want. A smile on their face and a direction of where they've never been before. That's the discovery part. When you leave something that you've known for a lifetime, you will grieve. You will find it difficult to adjust and maybe feel lonely. I mean, when I moved out to where I am now, it wasn't because I chose to move. It's because I was in a home where the neighbour turned violent, and that was a horrible, painful situation, one of which I was in for 5 months. And no matter where I went, I kept knocking on the door, and people just kept shutting the doors on me. And I felt so alone. I thought, gosh, nobody's listening to me. Nobody's listening. You can go to the mental health and say, listen, I'm really highly depressed right now. They're going to ask you why, but they're going to go into your background. My background had no relevance much to what was going on in the current situation, but what they do is, how do you manage your emotions? That's the key element of it. When highly stressed, and many people when highly stressed end up physically hurting themselves because the pain of what they're feeling is so intense. But physically hurting themselves is a dangerous element, and we have to prevent and replace that self-harm. And I mean that. With every inch of my body, I've had to replace certain elements of my life. And I said today, because I was babysitting my new grandchild, and I said today, I don't understand why I feel so strange with this baby. What was going on? And I realised it's a very fragile emotion that I'm feeling with a new baby. And I said to the mum, I just want to get it right. And then I realised something. I'm sober. I'm sober. I'm not on drugs. I'm not on any of those things, you know what I mean? I'm sober. And that's the difference. That's the funny part about it. I'm not getting drunk so I can communicate with somebody. I'm not putting the alcohol down my throat so I can just mask, I don't know, that inner child that wanted to come out but was afraid to come out. So I guess that for me, holding that baby, looking at this baby and thinking there's a piece of me within this baby. I do not want her to have or go through the things that I went through in life. So, but I think that strange element of it for me is I'm awake. I have a clear head and I am not drunk. So I can hear the music around me. I can smell, I can taste, I can actually have a conversation and remember the conversation. But the thing is, you know, sometimes when you're having a conversation with somebody or somebody somebody said something and you disagree, the first thing I want to do is, I want to drink. I want to drink. Is this my mask? It's a mask. But to avoid that, I'm not an alcoholic. No, I was using it as a coping strategy. I was using it to blot out. Have fun. That's the thing. Fun, 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 fun in the end of the bottle. But fun in the end of the bottle caused many more problems. So I think for me, you know, if you could avoid alcohol, please do try that. Try relying on another source. You need support. Open Talk Wednesdays between 1:30 and 3:30. If somebody is struggling, I am willing to give time. We use Zoom. We just send a link, you click the link, follow the instructions on your mobile device, and it will bring you into the Open Talk Zooms. That's there for anyone that needs time to talk. You know, we've been running it for a while and getting to know people, getting to understand, and how, most of all, how can we help them with their business or their business idea? How can they grow? I mean, the thing is, once you've lived it and you've been it and you think, you know what, I got here. I once was an ex-service user. I'm still reliant upon support. Because I think we all need support. I'm very reliant on support, and I think we still all need support. I don't hold everybody's answers, but I'm trying to show the right way into a better, healthy way of living than what I've ever known. This here, this here is a flyer, and as you see in the Mum Project, there is at the top, it says what some of the signs of behaviour is, and it doesn't need a label or diagnosis to ordinary people. And I say ordinary, we're all ordinary people. That's a song, isn't it? We're just ordinary people. Who sung that? It's the people that have a more sensitive emotion than others. So here are some of the signs of behaviours to look out for. People that may suffer or not even identify with the depression, okay? They might not even identify with it. I want you to look around your friends, look around your family, and see. Have a look. Behaviour, appearance, lifestyle, substance abuse, isolation, self-harm, communication, neglect, desperate, angry, guilty, worthless, lonely, sad, hopeless, helpless. Do you know 1 in 4 people in the UK experience mental health difficulties each year, and on average 16 people per day lose their lives to suicide. It is important that people don't snub their nose at that word mental health or suicide, because it's about preventing and educating yourself. Educating. I was quite insulted when the person said to me last night, how can you function with a label? I was really quite insulted, because the label was given to me simply because I was a person of child abuse, domestic violence, rape. That label was given to me to identify the emotions that carry out within trauma. So traumatic events have a devastating effect on people's lives, and all those people that are doing things they shouldn't be doing, and I mean this from the bottom of my hand, put this out on here. All start there's a lot of people out there that have been abused, all right? And they're not telling people out there. It's not something you broadcast. We just would like to get on with our lives and not be reminded of that perpetrator or anything else. So for myself, I talk highly about my experiences because I want to help someone. It's not our burden to bear. It's not our shame, okay? At the end of the day, people are sick. When they do these things, they're very ill. And I'm not so sure there's a cure for those people. I'm not so sure. I don't have any sympathy. I'm sorry. I don't care what position I am in. I don't have sympathy for those people. And you know why? Because those people stole people's lives. And they'll steal years of it, from a child to an adult. Years of people's lives. Because the people don't recognize that even though that perpetrator is no longer there, the emotional trauma is still there, and one of which it goes into a retraction of can't tell no one, keep it a secret, and then you start masking things and doing things for yourself. So when you do eventually open up and tell someone, it's liberating. It's nice. There's no justice in it though. You can't get justice. I've never actually ever reported that person because I didn't have a chance. They died. I guess other children that are around that person are safe now. But they're adults. And even as adults, they've still got unhealthy coping strategies the same as me, you know. And that's what recovery is about, is replacing and learning to manage your recovery. That's the identical factor. Learn to manage the recovery. I mean, I can't believe that I've taken a back seat for a little while, but I just realised I don't have to do everything. I want everyone to share what we're doing, share the awareness. If you see the Mum Project, please look out for Mind Over Matter Gives Back. Obviously the MOM stands for Mind Over Matter. So we have the Cleanish page, which is, it's tells you where the events are. So that's Mind Over Matter. If you could go and what do you call that thing? Go and like the page. That'd be good. That'd be lovely. And then the mom is for you, darlings, to put your stories in there, put your journeys, and share a poem, share a positive message, a quote. But if you see what people have posted, encourage them and say hi. You know, give them a little heart, give them a little like, give them a little share, as much as you can. Share out. Somebody gave you information on the platform. Take it, but share it to somebody else. Because somebody out there, like that little boy that I posted on here earlier, didn't want to be here. And that's a child. If we can't save ourselves, please let us save the children of tomorrow. Because when they sit here, and this is another factor that I'm aware of my time, so this is one more factor that I want to address. People, mothers, fathers out there that are experiencing depression, and that are, and I mean depression, and your children are watching. And I'll say this, and I'll say it all day long. I learned how to go to the GP and share a problem with the GP, but nobody told me how to muster out my emotions or how to come out with the things that I needed to say. No, I went to the GP, he gave me some medication. But the thing is, when you realize something, then when you read that you can have mood stabilizers, stabilize your mood, but what are you in a mood for? Identify your moods. What is causing your mood? There are medications that they can give you to stabilize your mood. I don't take any medications because it clearly said, when you do your research, there's no cure. The cure is happiness. And what's it going to take to get your happiness? Get you in a stable position. Your life is about stability. That's the most key. We need stability. We need to know who's around us, who's staying, who's going, what's the objective, what's the aim, who's going to enhance your life. If they're decreasing your life and they don't know your value, then you don't owe anybody anything. You don't, but yourself. You surround yourself with like-minded people. People are going to help you and understand you. But at the same time, some people will project what they think, and when they think of your situation and talk to you about your situation, it's up to you what you take from a conversation. But if you're going to ridicule someone because they've given you information and that you didn't want to take that information, advice, then that's on you. It's on you. Don't ridicule someone for giving you advice or a direction of where to go. That's not nice. Now, as I said, open talk is there each and every Wednesday. If somebody is struggling, you've only got to contact me. My name is Kerry Mussington. You can clearly see contact myself. You could actually hop over to Mind Over Matter. You can send an email or send a message as well and ask for an appointment. You can do those things. We have counsellors. I hate that word. So what I do is not to upset anybody for the positions that they're in. What I did, and I did this with a person yesterday who decided to put information on the mom page and direct people back to their page, and I think it's very cheeky, very cheeky. And the page at the end of the day was about abuse, and I thought, oh, how can we work together? So I contacted the person you have published on my page, and thank you for giving back. But you've got people that have diagnoses. Now, this is the person, bearing in mind the person doesn't understand the labels. Many people that are in domestic violence or experiencing those bad relationships over and over and over again, some people will have a diagnosis, and some people will struggle with relationship problems as well. Hello. So hello, my loves, whoever's watching me. Thank you for watching me and taking your time. Hi, darling. And I look forward to when you can join Open Talk. Anytime you want. I don't tell people they have to show up every Wednesday. You show up, it's me time. You show up for the things that you want to do. But I'm saying it's available. What I have had happen to myself is that somebody's phoned me up from the mental health ward and said, I need to go down and work down the mental health ward to help the people down there because they're not getting any help. I know this. I know this because I have been in that mental health ward to visit somebody that was actually on the mom at one point after saving their life. And then they put themselves in for some recovery for a few days, and then they called me up constantly while they were in there. And they had taken an overdose while they were in there. How do you go to a mental health ward and then take an overdose? They were also drunk while they were there. How does that happen? You're supposed to be safe. And sometimes when I've been in there, I've been in there to visit people, I've not felt safe, even as a visitor. It's not somewhere I'd want people to be. This is why we have the prevention side. This is why we say talk before you escalate. If you are feeling crap at that moment, because we know what the emotions that go up and down, if you're feeling crap, pick up the phone. It's your choice. What do you think? You're going to be judged? You're any different to me? You're any different from anybody else? Drugs, rape, alcohol, come on. Abuse, victimization, harassment, discrimination, homelessness. That journey is there. And a lot of people have that journey. A lot of people have that journey. What we're trying to do is, yes, we recognize the journey now. So how can we replace what was going on and even the people around us? If we have to take ourselves out of an environment to get this right, then we should take ourselves out of that environment. But you cannot do this solely alone. Because like I said earlier, some people are living in a situation still and they don't know how to get out of it. So it's preparation, it's plan, where you can get the right support, the right help and the right advice. It does take one to know one. I am very strict with how I feel about delivering a message, and sometimes I'm ridiculed for that. Sometimes I'm stabbed in the back for that, and I just think to myself, you know what? Bye. That's my attitude to people now. When they tell me, oh, I don't want to be a part anymore, bye. See ya. Because I gave an opportunity, and that's all it ever took, isn't it? If I gave an opportunity to someone, that's good enough for me. I didn't have to. I did. So if it goes tits up, it's not because I didn't give an opportunity, because I'm staying grounded. I don't move. I don't move from this position. I work so hard to get a control of my mental health. I work so hard to replace the hurting my body. I don't promote the methods. I ain't going to turn around and put those things out there. I tell people to avoid them. For me, at the end of the day, I got to laugh, but I've worked so hard. But it doesn't mean I don't live on the edge. And I'm just living on the edge now to just enjoy my life. And if anybody hurts me, I tell them. I said, I don't like this. Is there a better way you can communicate? Or can we talk about this? And if people are not willing to even give you a conversation and just leave you with their final say of whatever they want to say, it's not fair. It's not two-way. It's not an agreement to say, you know what, okay, I agree. This is what we're going to do from now on. You go your way and I'll go mine. But the problem is people like to send a text and leave it like that. And I think it's so cruel. It's cruel. It's just really cruel and unnecessary. What when someone says and sends a text, and I'm going to speak about it because I always speak about how I feel. When someone calls and sends a text and says farewell, it makes you think, what have I done wrong? What have I said wrong? What's the problem? But when I realise and when I know what it is, I know what it is. They don't know what it is, but I know the real reasons. You see, because when you're dealing with um, these 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 labels and these diagnoses and these emotions, the pattern, the traits, the behavior is really there. And when you try and point it out to someone that's trying to be in recovery, they could take a little bit and often, but they're gonna learn the hard way. Dropping your friends, dropping your support, and then complaining that there's no support, that's not a decision that we were in control of. If somebody's left a text message of goodbye, so you'd have to go through the grieving process of what did I do? You haven't even got an opportunity to speak to someone. So what's the problem? And then when allegations come out or something like that, you think, what? Really? Oh, so then suddenly now we're using excuses to keep a distance. I don't have that. Sad as it is, mate. Just don't like you. Bye. Just don't like what you say. Bye. You know, I can have a stink attitude towards people sometimes, and I mean that. That's just me trying to hold back my anger and my disappointment when people just come in my life and then just leave with an explanation. That's so shitty and poor. If you're going to be friends, you're going to be family, then at the end of the day, there's no explanation needed. You remain that for the rest of your life. No explanation needed. So when you get an explanation, it's contradictory. I took a back seat for a while, and I realised I kind of lost my mojo for a little while. I was too busy focusing on everybody else and not me. I was getting exhausted, but not burnt out. I wasn't burnt out because I can't sleep. I've got too many ideas in here that need to come out and they need to be developed. For me, I'm coming back next year. Watch this place, and I won't be alone. I will not be alone. I am not alone in this journey. I have strong members around me that really do get the concept of what it takes to help someone and keep them alive. I have a 65-year-old man that will tell you that because I talk bluntly, because I sit here and I give time, because I let switch it so they can look at things in a different way. That's, what do they call that, CBT? I don't label I don't do that. I'm not no psychologists, because psychologists, they get the information from us anyway. They get the lived experiences, and you give out all those secrets to psychologists. They do their research, they do their study. You know, the amount of times that you can go to university and say, hi, can we use you for a guinea pig? Of course you can. Here we go. What do you want to use? What do you want to know? You want to know what makes us tick. You want to know what makes us do the most stupid things. You want to know how you could diagnosis. So you want to know how you could best help us. So you do all your research. Help us. If I knew what I knew, if I know what I know now, if I knew that all them years ago when going through the mental health people, if I'd known, if they'd give me the right conversation, because there was never enough time when you go to the mental health support, there was never enough time. First of all, you do the hour assessment. Of course, I'm looking for something to show you. First of all, you do the hour assessment, and in that hour assessment, you reel off all your past before you can even get to the present. So by the time you've got to your past, you can't even talk about your immediate situation. How can you help me? Best out of this? Where can I go? Who's going to give me the right tools to get me where this situation, to help me to replace the self-harm? And then you go, they put you on, and this is what I know, this is my own experience. They said to you, oh, go to a recovery college. I went to one of those recovery colleges, and it wasn't what I expected. What I expected in my head was I could have someone to talk to. Great, let me get it out of my chest. But that wasn't the case. They gave me colour and pens and a piece of paper, like I was 5 years old. And they told me to do this, fill it in, and it became a shield. Fill it in. And all the time I just wanted a conversation. And I couldn't get that conversation because those that are facilitating that recovery program say to you, I'm not here for that. I'm just here to deliver what's scripted here. All those problems go down the sentences of ice. What would you go down the sentences of ice for? To muster out your emotions. You would go down the sentences of ice for the problem that you've got, but it doesn't help you with the emotions where you feel, I just can't do this. You want to do it, but the pain is so hard because you don't know how to get out of it. Where do you go? Every door's been shut at you. How do I get out of the situation that I'm in? But all the doors are being shut. Or they're not speaking the right love language to communicate with me effectively. So like I said, it takes one to know one. I'm pretty pleased with the way that I explain things to people. And when people ask me questions, I get them to look at it in an alternative motive, but also think about other people in the process that you're dealing with, because they will say one thing but mean another, and sometimes you have to look at it in different ways and find the right love language, the right words, the right diplomatic words, and the right sensitive words. I'm not very sensitive to my words. I'll try, but once I've got you where I need to get you, I just sit there and say to you, come on, I've been here, I've done what you're doing. I can see what's going to happen next if you don't change the next bit. So read about it, please. If you do not know anything about EUPD, that's a short term, emotionally unstable personality disorder. I did post it in Mind Over Matter Gives Back. There is videos there on one and in the Mom Project. EUPD is a very, very serious diagnosis, not to be taken lightly. And you will find, if you do your research, that most medical staff, or most support services and things, they are reluctant to deal with that diagnosis. Let's see, I have an abbreviation for it: BPD, borderline personality disorder. Read about it. It's not for us to give you everything on a plate, but I will guarantee that the people around you will not tell you that they have a diagnosis unless they're comfortable with telling you, because first of all they want you to accept them for who they are at face value. Hi, this is me. Why should people have to keep telling you they have a label? But they do, because they want you to say, they want you to recognize that, hi, I need you to understand and recognize that my moods, they go up and they go down. It isn't anything personal, but they go up and they go down. Sometimes I don't even know why I feel the way I feel. But sometimes I just need to tell somebody that I don't feel good today. And they might not have anything to say, but they may say, would you like a hug? Even a virtual hug. I get those. You know, that's all we can do, is do our part, and that's learn to speak out. No one can save you. No one can even help you if you don't speak. So speak to somebody who knows it. You know, there are many times I say to people, can you please share? They're so, and I want to swear, effing ignorant, and I mean it. The amount of viewers, and we say, share the awareness, and they don't share. What do you call these people then, that watch? They've watched, they've seen, they've heard you say share. They contribute in factors, you know that? A contributing factor to the way society is. They would rather share a bar of chocolate than share life-saving information. And I put it that way. They would rather share a song. As long as it's got good words in it and good meaning and something's going to hype you up, that's great. But at the end of the day, they wouldn't share awareness of mental health support or the word suicide prevention. And that's the thing that this grates on me. My own friends or people that I know, and we had this conversation when people were complaining about people supporting them. I said to them, okay, so I'm in a conversation with you. You're saying people don't support you. Are you actually on my page? And they say no. Classic example. Friends around me, are they on my page? They'll say no. Classic example. If you're helping someone's business and you want to help people and help the community, then where are you? So equality, unity, diversity, and communication is the key. I've done it today. I've done it. I've achieved what I said I would. Spontaneity. That's what I've done. I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go live on my own. I can do this. Because I took so much badgering and I took so much belittling from people that, again, you see, I'm the one that built the blinking company. I'm the one that provided, and there's individuals that try to tear me down for their own gain. And when they attack me, I attack back. and I attack back in an educational way, because if I don't speak and they did it to somebody else, that somebody else would take their life. I have done youth mental health training, so yes, can help the children. I have done adult training, yes, can help the adults. Do I need the training? Not really. Takes one to know one. But I do understand, and I train myself with other people's diagnoses so I can understand, recognize their mood swings, or recognize what they need from me if they're in my circle. So if people are in your circle, ask them what they need to help you with your health and well-being. I'm going to be doing a challenge soon. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be taking some health vitamins because my bones are weakening as I get older and I've slipped through the menopause. So I'm going to be doing a challenge soon, and if anybody would like to do a challenge with me, you're going to know, what's that? I'll let you know, just if you're up for challenges, if you're up for open talk, please do click on the link go to Mind Over Matter Give Back and look at the events. If you are interested, the information is there for open talk. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Your stories are yours. All we ask is, don't give us names of the perpetrators or anything like that you want to talk about. Talk without giving out your location or giving out the names of the people that are hurting you or something like that. Don't do that in a public setting. That's humiliating, degrading treatment. All right. So just be wise what you say, and you can speak fluently. If you do not want your camera on, you do not have to have your camera on, but you do have to talk. We will not have anyone sit there silent because you came to talk. Talk. People are making friends. They're making a good, strong network. And Me Time Wednesdays, I take that all day. I love it. It's just somewhere I can actually just say, you know what, blah, 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 or put ideas on the table as well, just to help someone. I'm helping someone helps me. And then, you know, you've got people that say, you got to fix your own mental health before you help people. I want to tell them in a nice manner. I was about to say something really bad there. Okay, what I can say to them is, please don't tell me to fix my own mental health. I run a company, successful and saving lives. And you know what? I'm also in recovery, and I am a survivor, and I'm a survivor of suicide too many times. Will I want to do it again? I don't want to do it again. Oh no, I love my life. Do I struggle with my emotions? Yes. But that's only if I've got a mean person that's being nasty to me. And when you're in line of business and you're trying to help somebody in the community and do things and bring people together, then sometimes people are just mean. And the thing is that then when you attack me, you attack everybody. So I'll attack back in my own way, and that's an educational way. If you do wrong to me, I will do what I do on the tin, and I tell everybody, we don't let perpetrators get away with anything nowadays. Oh no, if they're doing wrong and they're nasty, then they will be reported. Very simple. I make sure that I'm due diligence. So just be kind. That's not too much to bloody ask for, is it? Kindness. If you don't like someone, you don't like somebody in your family, walk away. Walk away. Walk away. I no longer speak to my siblings, some of my siblings, because they don't see my growth. Because they still see me as that little girl. They don't even know what I do. They don't help, they don't contribute, but I wish them well. Do I miss them? Of course I miss them. That was a bond. That's something you brought up. You brought around them. Of course I do, but I wish them well. But unless I have a one-on-one conversation where they can see me as a human being and not as a property, not as a label, not as a sister, not as a brother, none of those things. Unless they can see me for who I am and where I am now. Not look at that little girl that was broken. I can't have these people around me. Don't care. Because they don't pay my bills. They don't lay down with me. They don't hold me when I'm crying. They're not here. They're just labels. Again, sisters, brothers, mothers, uncles, just labels. We've come in this world, we are born in this world to go out and carry out some kind of mission, to add and enhance, value to someone's life, not decrease their life. So if you've got loved ones at the end of the day that you adore and they're just rejecting you, they don't get on, you've got the annoying brother, annoying sister, whatever else, sometimes, you know what, we can do more harm than good arguing with them. So they're human beings too. It's best to just wish everyone well from a safe distance if you don't get on well with them. I did, but I just needed to grow. And because I needed to grow, I needed to let go. I needed to let go of what was holding me back. And that was people's opinions about my life. Mind over matter gives back. Guys, take it easy. I achieved what I needed to achieve. I've come back. I've done a live. And I've missed two in my lives. If you want a topic-based live, throw the topics at me. And there are plenty of people with those kind of topics, those information to give you the information out there. Join us on the panel meetings if you want. If you would like to talk on any of the Candid Chat, which is at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday, you can always join our panel discussions and have your say. Those options are there. Be a part of Team Mum, spread awareness and do right by the community. But most of all, do right by yourself. Give yourself a break. Be kind to yourself. And be kind to your fellow neighbour. Love your community you're in and love the skin you're in. Take care. Mind over matter. Mom Project. I'm Kerry Mussington.